Hello YouTube. How you guys and girls doing today? Okay, today we're at a special spot. Okay, Cumberland County Historical Museum. This museum, we're going to go in and take a quick little tour. Has a huge arrowhead collection from a guy. I forget his name. I used to know, but they'll tell us when we get inside. So I just wanted to show you guys. This is a really cool museum to come to if you're down in here in Greenwich, New Jersey. So if you guys want to come along, we're going to go inside and just take a quick look. I talked to the people that work here, and they're cool with explaining a little bit about it for you, because I obviously don't know that much. So we'll go on in and you guys will get to see. Oh, at least it's nice and air conditioned in here. Get your door.
We try to keep it on.
Yeah. So this, let me just show them here. You guys will see. There's all kinds of arrowheads, artifacts. So, okay. How you doing?
How you doing?
It's Fred. I was in here talking to these guys and gals a little bit ago, and they're nice enough to give us a little bit of information on this place, because obviously I don't know much about the guy who had this. So,
Absolutely.
So
This is the Alan Carmen Museum of Prehistory. We are part of the Cumberland County Historical Society. So in 1997, Alan Ewan Carmen, who's a local to Cumberland County, donated his entire collection of Native American artifacts that he had collected over decades of his life, hunting the fields, looking for these artifacts and pulling them together for the sake of educating the public about ancient Native American culture. He so graciously donated his collections to the Historical Society and opened this museum. He was the first curator. And then the collection obviously grew over time. We started to take more donations in. Carmen unfortunately left us in 2011. And then we had a few different curators ever since. My name is Richard Adamczyk. I'm the curator today. I'm a professional archaeologist. I have a master's in anthropology from Monmouth University. And we've basically, me and my team, have been working to try and update this museum, take a lot of the material that Carmen had collected and other donations to try and present it in a way that can help educate the public with more information about the past up to more modern museum standards as best as we can within this lovely old building.
Yes.
So
Very
if you
nice.
want to take a look around, show
Yes.
some of the material that we have.
Yeah, so
objects
I'm going to
from-
show them who the guy was. Here's
Yeah, this is Carmen.
that's him. You guys will be able to see.
Yeah, we can move this so they can get a nice,
Yeah, thank you.
nice view.
Nice spear there, atlatl spear. Okay. Cool. Thanks. So.
Absolutely. So some of the highlights of the stuff that we have here, you could see, as you saw in the picture of Carmen holding this artifact here, this is a Clovis spear point. It's a very distinctive type of artifact. It's kind of like the holy grail of your Paleo-Indian period artifacts. So the Paleo-Indian period is the earliest period of prehistory that we have evidence of in New Jersey. It's somewhere around 10 to 8,000 BC. We have evidence of this is at the end of the last ice age, the Pleistocene epoch. So New Jersey looked very different at the time. We have mostly a tundra environment. The sea level is so much lower because all of this water is trapped in these ice sheets and glaciers in the northern extents of the planet. So the sea level is so low that the coastline for New Jersey is actually 80 miles further out at its maximum than what it is today.
Wow,
So there's about 80... You
That's
take the
crazy.
Jersey Shore as it is now, you go 80 miles further out into the ocean. That was all tundra.
Oh, wow.
So that's all, livable, walkable land that Native people were using. So when you're on the beach and you're looking at the shells washing up on shore, keep an eye out for something like this spear point.
Yes.
They're very rare. They're incredibly rare. Population levels were very low at that time period. So there aren't a ton of people making these things. That's what makes them so rare and such an important indicator of some of
That's
the
a good
earliest
point.
history that we have here in New Jersey. These are the kind of things that were being used to hunt Ice Age creatures like mastodon, mammoth, giant sloths and beavers, things like that. So this is a completely alien environment to what we see today.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
Native people living in this really generally harsh environment. There's not a lot of plant life. They do use plant life to help with their diet as well as hunting, big game, small game, things like that.
Cool.
And then at the end of that ice age, all of the rest of the material that we see here in the museum
Later,
is kind of an adaptation to the changing environment as it becomes more of a modern woodland that we see
archaic,
today.
yep. And then,
The archaic period is when we start to see those glacial melts. We see woodlands start to sprout up. It's not quite the modern environment that you see today, but it is transitioning toward that. And every subsequent period, the middle archaic period, the late archaic period, you're seeing the environment become closer and closer to the woodlands that we see today.
because I found archaic and some woodland stuff over the years. More I've never found
Clovis
Clovis
and Paleo-Indian stuff is incredibly rare.
Yes.
It's a really interesting topic. You know, during the Middle Archaic period, around 6000 BC is when you start seeing things like groundstone axes, mortars and pestles, and things like that showing up, which is a nice indicator of this more productive environment. It's not a tundra anymore. It's a woodland. We have nuts, berries, things that we're really trying to extract from that environment and process to eat. So we're grinding them with mortars and pestles. We're chopping down trees because we now have forests where we can actually use this lumber for things like housing, canoes, other kinds of structures, and firewood, all of those things. And so people are actually taking the time to make these kinds of tools to extract these things from the environment, which is also an important point to make since I'm thinking about it. We have all of these wonderful stone artifacts that survive and that we can put on display here for after thousands of years of them sitting in the ground. What we don't have is the perishable materials. We only get the stone that survives because that doesn't decay.
Yeah, like
but
cloth or...
the wood, the cloth, the hide, the leather, all of these things that they were using for their clothing, for their tools, that's not surviving. We don't have the handle of this axe. We only have the axe head. We don't have the bags, the textiles, all of these wonderful things that
they would have had
part of their material culture, all of this evidence of the way they live their lives. It's empty to us. We don't have that surviving. So we have to try and keep that in mind when you look at all of these wonderful stone artifacts that survive. It's not necessarily that they were a Stone Age people that were obsessed with stone and only using stone.
Yes.
That's just all we see. It's a limited window.
Yes.
But we make the best that we can learning from this stuff.
Yep. And here's your atlatl spears.
Yes, we have a few recreated examples of
I actually made
darts
one myself.
and atlatls. This is prehistoric hunting technology. This is what they're using before the bow and arrow.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't understand. They think that the bow and arrow was always there.
Exactly.
This was before that.
Yeah,
people,
everyone thinks Native American. They think the bow. They think all of these spear tips, arrow tips, all of these stone tips that you see around the museum. The vast majority of them predate the bow and arrow. They're not arrowheads.
Yeah, they're really spearheads.
They're really spearheads, dart heads, knife tips, things like that.